They show tusen tip. They will not criminalize us, rob us of our true identity, steal our individualism, depoliticize us, turn us out as systemized, institutionalized, decent, law-abiding robots. Never will they label our liberation struggle as criminal. On March 1st, 1981, in the h-blocks of Kesh, Republican prisoners began a hunger strike which was to last 214 days and witnessed the deaths of 10 prisoners, 10 Republican volunteers.
May 5th, Bobby Sands, aged 27. May 12th, Francis Hughes, aged 25. May 21st, Raymond McCreish, aged 24. May 21st, Patsy O'Hara, aged 24. July 8th, Joe McDonald, aged 30. July 13th, Martin Herson, aged 26. August 1st, Kevin Lynch, aged 25. August 2nd, Kieran Doherty, aged 25. August 8th, Paul McElway, aged 23. August 20th, Mickey Devine, aged 27.
This tape is dedicated to their memory, to the memory of all those who died in the anti-H-block Armagh Jail agitation campaign.
As one by one our hunger
strike us down. Oh, how refuse McCreash and Sons, Doherty and Lynch, MacDonald horses, McIllhatton and
I joined the flying column in 1916 in Cork with Sean Maidin, in Tipperary with Dan Breen, arrested by free staters, sentenced to die. Farewell to Tipperary, said the Galtee Mountain Boy. We went across the valleys and over the hilltops green, where we met with Derry Lacey, Sean Hogan and Dan Breen, Sean Moylan and his gallant men, who kept the flag flying high. Farewell to Tipperary, said the Galtee Mountain Boy. We tracked the Dublin mountains, we were rebels on the run. Though hunted night and the morning, we were outlaws but free men. We crossed the Wicklow Mountains as the sun was shining high. Farewell to Tipperary, said the Galtee Mountain Boy. I'll bid farewell to old Clonmel that I never will see, and to the Galtee Mountains that oft times sheltered me, to the men who fought for their liberty and died without a sigh. May their cause be never forgotten, said the Galtee Mountain Boy. Some of them were dreamers, some of them were fools, who were making plans and thinking of the future. With the energy of the innocent, they would gather in the hills. They would need to make the journey back to nature, where the stars slip through the open, and the hands reach for the golden, and the hearts turn to each other's hearts for refuge. And the troubled year that came before the deluge, some of them knew pleasure, some of them knew pain, a creation revealed secret by a man, by a man, by a man, by a man. When the light has lost with us, reaches the sky. Somewhere we're angry at the way the earth was abused by a man who learned God's beauty and the power, and then struggling to protect us from them, he only became confused by the magnitude of the fury in the final hour. When the sun was gone and the tamarind and the naked dawn refused to burn, there were towns to understand this thing, so simple yet so new. They believed there were men to live after death.
It is a fact of women's lives that their role is largely ignored when history is written. The history of our own struggle is little different. Consider for a moment even how few of our songs reflect their experience and the vital active roles they play. In the everyday grind of struggle, it is women who have often been the strongest and have endured the most. We prisoners know this better than anyone. In the early days of the blanket protest, when few knew our yard, it was women who protested and later organised the relatives' action committees. Throughout, it was women who seized the initiative and did the work. Theirs was the sweat on which a campaign was built. Then, and especially during the hunger strikes, on daily visits to the prisons, they kept open the vital lines of communication. It was women who faced batons and plastic bullets with no defence save their own determination. To them we offer this sincere, if belated tribute. Glory old to the bold Fenian men. Passing by the graveyard where lies the child she bore in famine years, she hurries on, the papers hidden deep in the folds of her black shawl. Wake up and show devotion to the men on Arbour Hill. Nearing Sackville Street's Sniper's Field, she stops in a shadowed doorway and shifts the ammunition box wearily on her stooped back. And here's to the boys of Kilmichael. Charcoal and ash clad, she sifts through the cottage ruins, discarding pots and pans, until with a curse for the tans, the scorched Webley rests warmly against her belly. One man, one vote. The marchers scramble, scattering before the stones, and standing dazed in a cold January stream, the blood pools thickly on her scarf and duffel coat. Every man will stand behind the men behind the wire. Vinegar breathed against the gas, steadily she measures out familiar kitchen things, sugar and soap powder, adding last the petrol. For we are the men on the blanket. From the back door hook her coat weeps on the placard's peeling face. As eyes shut she leans against the cooker and warms chill hands over the simmering pot.
Doesn't seem quite so long ago, the last time that I saw you. Ain't it funny how the memories grow? Seems they always fold world around you. It tried to break you in a living hell, but they couldn't find a way. So they killed you in an H-block cell and hoped that all would turn away. They thought your spirit couldn't rise again, but you dared to prove them wrong. And in death you tore away the chains to let the world hear freedom's song. Yet the heartache and pain linger on. They're still here, though it's 10 years since you've gone. But we're stronger now. You showed us how freedom's fight can be won. I wish there was an easy road to choose to bring the heartache to an end, but easy roads are always sure to lose. I've seen it time and time again. You could stand by me like yesterday, I'd find the strength to carry on. So let your spirit shine along the way, and our day will surely come. But the heartache and pain linger on. They're still here, though it's 10 years since you've gone. But we're stronger now. You showed us how freedom's fight can be won. If we all stand as one. I'm 90 miles from Dublin Town. I'm in an H-block cell to help you understand me plight. This story now I'll tell. I'm on the blanket protest. My efforts must not fail, for I'm joined by men and women in the Kesh and Armagh jail. It all began one morning. I was dragged to Castlereagh, and though it was 3 years ago, It seems like yesterday. For 3 days kicked and beaten, I then was forced to sign confessions that convicted me of crimes that were not mine. Sentenced in the diplock court, my protest began. I could not wear this prison gear, I was a blanket man. I'll not accept their status, I'll not be criminalized. That's the issue in the blocks for which we give our lives. Over there in London town, oh how they laugh and sneer. If they could only make us wear their loathsome prison gear. Prisoners of war, that's what we are, and that we must remain. The blanket protest cannot end till status we regain. I've been beaten round the romper room because I won't say sir. I've been frog marched down the landing and dragged back by the hair. I've suffered degradation, humility and pain. Still the spirit does not falter, British torture is in vain. I've been held in scalding water while me back with tack scrubs was torn. I've been scratched and caught from head to foot, then thrown out on the floor. I've suffered murder searches, been probed by drunken bears. Oh, I've heard me comrades cry and scream, then utter useless prayers. Now with the news that's coming in, our protest must not fail. For now we're joined by 30 girls in our women's jail. So pay attention, Irish men and Irish women too, and show the Free State rulers their silence will not do. Though it's 90 miles to Dublin Town, it seems so far away. There's more attention to our plight in the USA. Oh, now you've heard the story of this filthy living hell. Remember 90 miles away, I'm still in
in an H-block cell. Yes, remember 90 miles away, I'm still in an H-block cell. Sailed out to sea, out from sweet and Derry, or Australia bound if we didn't all drown, and the marks of our feathers we carry. In the rusty iron chains we sighed for our winds, our good women we left in sorrow. As the mainsail unfurled, our curses we hurled on the English, the thoughts of tomorrow. Wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. At the mouth of the foyle bit farewell to the soil down below decks we were lying. With a hearty scream woken out of a dream by a vision of old Robert dying. Sunburnt cruel as a dish out the grill, and O'Connor was down with the fever. 60 rebels today bound for Botany Bay, and many will reach the receiver. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. I cursed them to hell as the bow fought swell. Our ship danced like a moth in the firelight. White horses rode high as the devil passed by, taking souls to Hades by twilight. 5 weeks out to sea, we were now 43. Our comrades we buried each morning. In our own slime we were lost in the time, like the fountain. Wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, wish I was back home in Derry. Van Diemen's Land is a hell for a man. Live out his life in slavery, where the climate is the raw and the gun makes the law. Neither wind nor rain curse the bravery. 20 years have gone by and I've ended me bond. Comrades gone swag behind me. Rebel like Cain and I'll die insane on the cold winds of the night to find me. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. Oh, I wish I was back home in Derry. I wish I was back home in Derry. As I walk through the Glen path, I heard a young woman, the boy from Tamlaghtduff, she cried, is 2 years dead gone. How my heart torn apart for this young man blue.
many years his axe blades wore a thorn inside. The hills and glens became his home, and there he used to hide. Once when death surrounded him, he quietly slept away, like a fox he went to ground and kept the dogs at bay. Moving round the countryside, he often made the news, but they could never lay their hands on my brave Francis Hughes. Finally, they wounded him and captured him at last. From the countryside below, they took him to Belfast. From Roibeárd to the Crumlin Road, and down to H-blocanna, he went straight on the black and a hunger strike was. His road went, they could never break, no matter what they tried. He fought them every day he lived, and he fought them as he died. As I walked through the glen pass, I heard a younger mourn. The boy from Tamlaghtduff, she cried, is 2 years dead and gone. And my heart was torn apart for this brave man to lose. Oh, I never see the likes again of my brave Francis Hughes. The monsters came just the other day, thought it was a dream. Rain and fire causing pain, heard the children scream. Eagles thundered from the midnight sky, death beneath their wings, found their prey in sleepy streets with a million deadly stings. A gift from the Star Wars king. Met the devil in a dusty lane, close by Crossroads town. Saw the gleam in his fiery eyes, flames danced all around. No hope for black when the white man holds the key, no freedom without guns. Break the chains, rise up east, burn the devil on the run. Freedom's day has come.
off the streets, bringing pain or plastic bullets out to every kid that he meets. Strangers' laws and strangers' ways can never hold us down. Risen hearts with freedom's cry, resistance is all around. Death knell for the crown.
Well, they dropped the bomb in 45 to end the World War. No one had ever seen such a terrible sight before. The world looked on with eyes wide to see where it might lead. Politics and power, they passed around the seed, and was a time to remember. They never can forget they were playing Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Russian land. There rose like the saviors of our modern human race. Variation held up, hung about the face with the key to secure the treatment of our roads. Hot shot of cobalt, pocket full of pills, speaking always of the enemy. Lurked across the sea while the corrupted among us like a carrier disease. Deep down inside the bunkers of the concrete and the lead, Einstein's disciples working steadily ahead, making heavy metal power plants to hard city lights. All you can hear in the underground is a humming through the night. The walls by security circle all around. They spill out their poison, they bury it in the ground. Hold up in the harbors and seek me away. Warheads and submarines with the make their play, and the money past the mains, improving their design. Soldiers get all doped up, stumble through the lanes, and dispose them into the river, get carried out by the tide, and they call this security, but we're not satisfied. Our statesmen and leaders with their politicians pay, quick to heed the hand that feeds, careful what they say. They call out experts to assure us to wave the magic wand. This is the power of the future, and the future marches on. Oh, they call in all favors, all the political gains, spills fill the rivers and settle in the plains. They've caused deaths of millions, that is their stock and trade. They will be afflicted by the fall that they've made. They've sealed their own inevitable doom, and it must surely come. Not even the moon's jeweler will be far enough away to run with this earth that they have assaulted against the corner on, and the unimaginable gravity shocks them to the ground. I know the minds behind them, they're riddled full of holes, not to be trusted with their hand and the controls. Their right side is twisted by the glory of their careers. Heap praise of flattery is music to their ears. Oh, to listen to them talk about how it hasn't happened yet, like playing Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Russian roulette.
Roulette, Black Bay, Hiroshima, Nagasaki, Hiroshima.
Sackville Street, the curfew drove the restless out of sight. Blackened towns marched up and down, and the moon shone cold and bright. The shot was like a whip crack on the first man off his feet. He died on bloody cobblestones as his comrades roamed the street. Called out reinforcements. All the people from their beds were screaming, "Get the bastards!" Whose fear was in their heads. And they found the man a cellar. He was only 17. Fighting for his country, dying for the green. The sergeant dragged him by the hair, beat him to the ground. To this young man's body, he emptied every round. Come out and take a look, he cried, as he marched his troops away. They marched in stony silence. What a price to have to pay. Some knelt and pled beside him. Too late anyhow. They said he was a rebel then. Who's a hero now? 66 his country sang the praises of the dead, but didn't call them rebels then. We used patriot instead. On every household TV screen we saw how hard they fought, how they spilled their lives' blood, how freedom had been bought. Garden gates were opened up, the silent motorcades, cannons boomed, flags and forth, solemn rees were led. Prayers for those departed were called for loud and clear, for those who had been outlawed. That was another year. Veterans lined up step and tread, their white hair ruled the wind, with their pipe into their gabardines, and their thoughts upon their friends. And better the winds were stolen, and the scars of history were flung into their faces in stark reality. Up the road from Sackville Street, things are different now. Said he was a rebel then, he's a hero now. Long for the soldiers pushing, glances left and right, kids of the English working class, soldiers overnight, tossing till the mountain pack, bloody war and strife, never understanding dawn takes to away. The bomber's work is over. He's vanished for the day. Terrorist or the dreamer, savage or the brave, depends you foot you're trying to catch, whose face you're trying to see. Stealing cakes and dancing straight, whispers in the hall. Let's move the cure of Ho'ochana. Our backs are to the wall. There's panic down in Leicester's, where words are seldom scarce. Send someone to Glas quick to remember Patrick Pearse. Once more crucifixion seems a waste of hell. Instead he was a rebel man. Who's a hero now? Who's a hero now?
Sitting at the window, I'm looking down the street. I'm watching for your face, I'm listening for your feet. Outside the wind is blowing, it's just begun to rain, but it's been here without you that causes me such pain. My mind's wandering back again to when you were here. I wish I had you now. Oh, I wish that you were near. I remember the winter nights. You warmed me from the cold, and in the spring when we walked through green fields and skies of gold. You're gone, but you live on in my memory. In summer we played with the kids. You brought us young Jane, but now it's lonely and cold. It's winter once again. It's dark now, I see the stars are out, way up in the sky. Oh, how they remind me of the sparkle in your eye. I'm lonely, yes, I'm lonelier than the cold wind that blows. Are you happy? Are you all right? I suppose God only knows. And darling, all the people are going to bed. The kids are crying for you. How can I tell them that you're dead? You're gone, but you live on in my memory. You're gone, oh, you're gone, on the breeze. When the dead of the night a man slips by McIllhatton, if you please. McIllhatton, your blood, where have you gone? Cry a million choking men. Where are you, sacks of barley? Oh, will your legs be seen again? Here's a jig to the man and a reel to the drop. Swing to the girl he loves. May your fiddle play and pots and cheer your company up above. There's a wisp of smoke to the south of Ann, the hutchins on the air. The birds are out, the rabbits are out, there's drunkards everywhere. At Scary as a rock, the fox is out, and God is chasing the hounds. And the only thing in decent shape is buried beneath the ground. McIllhatton, your blood, where have you gone? Cry a million shaking men. Where are you, sacks of barley? Oh, will your legs be seen again? Here's a jig to the man and a reel to the drop. A swing to the girl he loves. May your fiddle play and punch and cheer your company up above. At McIllhatton's house the fairies are out and they're dancing on the hobs. The goats collapse, the dogs run away, and the salmon in the bog. Here's a million gallons of voice they say, and the peelers are on the glen. But they'll never catch that haggler man, 'cause he's never coming back again. McIllhatton, your blood, where have you gone? Cry a million shaking men. Where are you, sacks of barley? Oh, will your legs be seen again? Here's a jig to the man and a reel to the drop, and a swing to the girl he loves. May your fiddle play and potch and cheer your company up above.
Rosaline Sands, you do not know me. I saw you only on a television screen, when so reluctantly you announced, "My son is dying," standing with such dignity and calm, amidst your suppressed and deeply personal grief. I felt an intruder to your private torment, witness to a mother's naked mourning. Thank you for allowing us to share your precious final moments with a great man.
Time's come to part, my love. I must go away. I leave you now, my darling girl. No longer can I stay. My heart, like yours, is breaking, but together we'll prove strong. The road I take will show the world suffering that goes on. Gentle clasp holds my hand, must listen and let go. Please help me through the door. Though instinct tells you no, our path is a turn. It will bring you dreadful pain. But apart from miles I recognize, don't call me back again. How the sorrow touched the soul in those final days. But it was time she held his hand and touched his shallow face. Lately, led by leaving, it's still burning strong, and by the light it's plain to see the suffering still goes on. Time has come to part, my love. I must go away. I leave you now, my darling girl. No longer can I stay. Bull of a gorge from the Scanlodge. Dortly and the valleys he may not grow maybe on. Cheater knocked the moe in different chogaidh. Dusk on the Doris is near the Dewey go Kieran. Aqua Cummer be Marnak Rover in our son. Hull may and tay the snee at the lake on and lay. Yes, me and longer may go Dublin if we and pray. I will not with Nagasaki we run. The scowl and sail of Smeen may have east the dawn. Me Clinton the Vegas, me Vector, my Reem Jora. Our chicken, our lies, Fedgernock, they may be all. Jerry may imagine my honey can keep the door. The bull of a gorse goat from the Scanlodge. Dort mare the bally's heel may knock row may be all. Cheater knock the moe and different chogaidh. You're a chicken or lies, Fedgernock they may go. As down the glen one Easter morn to a city far rode I. There armed lines of marching men in squadrons passed me by. No pipe did hum, no battle drum did sound its dread tattoo, but the Angelus bell o'er the Liffey's well rang out in the foggy dew. Right proudly high over Dublin Town they hoisted a flag of war. It was better to die neath an Irish sky than at Southall or Southall Bar. And from the plains of Royal Meath strong men came hurrying through, while Britannia's Huns with their long range guns sailed in through the foggy dew. It was England bade our wild geese go, that small nation to might be free. But their lonely graves are by Southall's waves, on the fringe of the great North Sea. Oh, and they died at Pearson's side, or fought with Calbrew. Their names we would keep while the Fenians sleep, beneath the shroud of foggy dew.
night fell black and the rifles cracked, made perfidious Albion reel. Bits bled and rained, 7 tongues of flame shone out of lines of steel. By each shining blade prayer was said, that to Ireland her sons be true. And when morning broke, still the war flag shook its folds in the foggy dew. Oh, the bravest fell, and the requiem bell rang mournfully and clear. For those who died that Easter tide in the springtime of the year, and the world did gaze in deep amaze at those fearless men, but few, who bore the fight that freedom's light might shine through the foggy dew. And as back down the glen I rode again, my heart with grief was sore, as I thought on the lives of valiant men I never would see more. And to and fro in my dreams I go, I'll kneel and pray for you, for slavery fled o'er glorious dead, when you fell in the foggy dew.
On October 3rd, 1981, the H-block hunger strike ended. In a lengthy statement released by the prisoners, they pointed out that despite the electoral successes, the hundreds of thousands at hunger strikers' funerals, despite massive and unprecedented displays of community support and solidarity, the British government had adhered rigidly to the policy that might is right, and that nothing had really changed since the fall of Stormont or from the inception of the state. Others equally criticised were the Catholic Church hierarchy, who had opposed the hunger strike, though offering no alternative course of action. Their stance was described by the prisoners as immoral and misleading. The southern parties of Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael and Labour, who had sat idly by, thus encouraging the British to continue with their death policy, were accused of being accessories to the legalised murder of 10 true and committed Irishmen. The SDLP, who had consistently refused to withdraw from the council chambers in protest at the British intransigence, had, the prisoners said, been recognised for what they are, and an amalgamation of middle-class rebellionists, void of principle, direction and courage. The statement went on to thank those who had stood by them and done so much for them, and vowed that the struggle to win their outstanding demands would be pursued with the same resolution as before.
That struggle took on a new dynamic. Having won the right to wear our own clothes gave us greater freedom of movement. New structures were formed. Petty restrictions were combated and broken down. Political debate in classes thrived, and a strategy for the attainment of outstanding demands quickly formulated. Within a year, segregation from loyalist and non-political offenders was achieved. In less than 2 years from the ending of the hunger strike, from the time that Thatcher boasted the Éirí had played its last card, Republican prisoners in the most dramatic manner once again displayed their ingenuity, resourcefulness, unity of purpose, and sheer audacity. H-Block 7, in the centre of the most heavily guarded jail complex in Europe, was for over 2.5 hours fully under the control of the Irish Republican Army. An escape with tranks is the most successful and daring in the history of British penal institutions was underway. The struggle goes on. Sin agenda.
Where's the jail? I based about 2 years, 2 hours.
We're going to keep it, Dory.
Aye, they call them skirts over here, don't get them
Still down here in a day, I guess.
So split the trees.
It's hardly here still there we have no flying helicopters coming.
No problem.
Well, that was done for them. What do you reckon? Any comments on it?
I don't know, I was sitting back there with the luxury of being able to listen to all the music while you were working away, and I was just sitting looking at everybody in the room, and like there's a bit of history about it because we've got the like of Tomboy, who's good mates with Bobby Sands, was in the cage with him and in the blanket. Dick took over his transport for Bobby. Lonnie, you were on the hunger strike. The rest of us was on the blanket one night.
Johnny come in later.
Snooze came in round about the time of the hunger strikes, and don't want to be dramatic, but there is a bit of history. So you can sit in this room, and there's all that connection right back to the cages, right through the blanket, the hunger strikes, right up to the present day, and it just struck me that it's pretty significant.
Yourself, Leonard?
Well, I thought féin wasn't going to finish. It's really opposite to myself, because I'm a man of few words, which is really, what I really got out of it was, I thought there was a sense of achievement with us here being, well, the way we're incarcerated in here, being able to turn out the tape. Probably it isn't as professional as people on the outside here, especially people who's into music, would like to see. But the type of tape we're into making here, it really isn't till really highlight music in a big way. It's really to portray a message and to let people know where, but even though we're in here, we're held in captivity, but we still see ourselves as political activists, and hopefully this tape will go in a way to prove that. I also see it as an extension of our progress in here throughout the years, where we're not going to sit back and accept our lot. I see it as just an extension, the likes of the publications, the jail publications we've released the Glucosa. So really all in all, I think it's come out soon.
What are you, Tomboy?
Well, I was back with what feeling was here. It had the whole history, and we can't be playing music here, and it's a bit pleasure for me to play the music, but it brings back a lot of memories of myself and Bobby. That he was in the music himself, and he was playing the guitar outside, and we've done a few sessions outside, and we both came back in again, the jail, and we did a blanket protest together, and Bobby wrote songs, like the ones we have on the tape, Maidin, Sad Song for Susan, Back Home in Derry, and McIllhatton. We used to sing all these songs in the blanket, with no music whatsoever. You had this little beat, the drum, some fella behind the door, beating the back of the door to try and get a beat, and all the lads joined in, you won, you had. But a day, we sat down and put music behind a lot of these songs, and it's been a great pleasure for me to hear the people that are part of this here, to sit down and put music behind all these songs. It's songs that we've all sung before in a blanket, and has a lot of meaning to it. And I'm sure if Bobby was here today, he'd stuck in the middle here. They're happiness here, banging away, singing this and try the other.
What about the new boy?
Well, I was feeling myself, maybe in the
Johnny come really?
Johnny come with
The youngster, the child.
What's his
He's happened.
The only thing I would say was that I was out at the time of the hunger strike. I was at the marches and I was at a lot of the funerals and stuff like that. Little did I know then that the sacrifices that were being made in here were going to benefit me, a few years later. And I feel I've got to know the like of Bobby through some of the songs that he wrote, the songs that we have done, for the tape there. And especially the song "That Time Has Come." When I was singing it, I thought back to the families, the hunger strikers during the funerals when they've been buried. That's one of the things that's stuck in my head. Like before I sung it and after I sung it, I was seeing them when they're dead, their sons or their husbands, and that was buried. But I'm glad I took part in it. One of the first recordings, or the first music recording of the last. I always get me a pint of beer.
Cheers, buy one.
What would you pick?
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a lot been said here about memories coming back, and there's no question about it. That the whole project that we got into when you asked me to do it in the first place, Lorna, that I was a wee bit apprehensive because I'm using inferior quality equipment and that there, that we weren't sure of getting a good projection of voices and good music or getting a good pickup. So I was worried about the quality of it, because I do believe that it's a very, very important project, and I think that first and foremost, I think it's a tribute to the progress that we've made in here since the hunger strikes. That we can put these things together, and that we are able, through a wee bit of ingenuity and a wee bit of resourcefulness and plenty of enthusiasm, to come together and do this sort of a thing. I think it's also, I would like it to be seen as a fitting tribute to the hunger strikers themselves, to all the hunger strikers, because the sacrifice that was made here was phenomenal. And I think that ourselves particularly, and I don't mean just a small group of people here, I mean the prisoners probably are the ones who were most deeply touched by, outside of the families of course, by the sacrifice that was made. Snow just mentioned about how the sacrifice and the fact that how he was outside. I would also like to say also, I think Phelim's poem about the women in struggle, I think also it's a fitting tribute that we have identified women's part in the struggle. I think it's a very important part, but we don't, not particularly us, but people in general don't give a lot of credibility to, they don't give a lot of notice to, and I think that the poem in itself brings out that whole aspect. For me, it's been an experience, and it's something that I would like to have done as professionally as possible, and there are a lot of memories about it. The only thing I'd say is that I've taken great strength from the sacrifices in 1981, and any time that anybody gets depressed or anybody feels down, they don't know where to go, how to go forward or where to go, but all we have to do is sit and reflect on the challenge that was taken up by the hunger strikers in 1981, and we can move forward from there. What about yourself?
There's also one idea, isn't it?
You only never want to drink before the session.
I follow butter.
Well, here is a combination of all those things, but particularly that there, I would like to see it as a tribute. Not only because a lot of original material and was written by Bobby and others in the blogs, but particularly for those people outside, for the families, and for those who have done so much for us, because we're nothing without them and their support. and too often, not only are they physically assaulted, but verbally abused by your media, politicians, church leaders and such like. And they have a lot to be proud of. We have a lot to be proud of with them. There's a lot of creativity in the blacks out there. And that what we're going to do is encourage it. Hopefully this tape will be some sort of encouragement to show what we can do. Good place in. Just has been very enjoyable doing the whole thing. A lot of work and a lot of
My bag reserves are right.
I'm on a roach.
Since Scrooge never heard as much practicing for concerts all right.
I know, I reckon they think there's a big do coming up. They'll probably looking for a gargle.
We're sitting fucking a sail, five of us, and everybody's out there.
You need to agree that,
Five of us?
Yeah, we've got some born out
Stephen's
here.
going
Yeah.
to visit.
You're a visit of you? No chance you're a
That's
visit.
five of us.
We've got some born
Yeah.
out here.
That's it.